पता नहीं. Hello, can you hear me? Am I audible? Hello. Assalamu alaikum students. I hope all of you would be doing well. Just before we formally start over this orientation session, I like to take your feedback around how was the December 23 exams, what are your expectations around December 23 exams, and what's your future plans regarding the March 24 exam session. So before I formally start the orientation relating to the ATX, just to give you a reference, like March 24 would be the last session for this Finance Act 2022 exams, and in June 2024 we will be having a new Finance Act applicable, which will be Finance Act 2023. So that's just, I just want to highlight, because some of the students do ask me like which exam, when the Finance Act will change. There are some of the expectations or misunderstanding of the students, like the Finance Act will be changing from March 2024 to all of them. The answer is no. In March 2024, the Finance Act will remain same as June 23, September 23, December 23, and then March 24. However, from June 2024, the new Finance Act will be applicable. Okay, so let's start formally about this, or let's start formally about this orientation session. So this orientation session is for ATX of Finance Act 2022, which is applicable for the exam setting June 2023, September 2023, December 2023, and March 2024. Needless to say, these three exam settings are done. So we are left with only this one exam setting, like the way I was discussing just few moments ago. Like this would be the last exam setting for the Finance Act 2022. At times, like if you are done with the strategic professional exams compulsory, students are at times confused which optional paper to opt, which optional paper not to opt. So normally the question around like who should go for the ATX. So let me have word around these lines. Who should opt for the ATX exam? So ATX exam should have to be opted by either of three type of students. First, to the ones who want to pursue ICAW. So because if you want to pursue ICAW, this is a compulsory exam. If you not attempt ATX, then you have to attempt any the equivalent paper of ATX and ICAW, and for that ICAW has marked the passing marks of 55, not 50. Problem number one. Problem number two, till yet you are familiar with the ACCA exam pattern, ACCA resources, which would not be the case with the ICAW. So that's why we, the tutors, we always recommend to proceed with the ATX rather than opting for the ATX equivalent ICAW exam. Second, those who are working or want to work in tax, so this is the second category who should opt for the ATX. Third, the ones, and probably the third one should be the major category for attempting this ATX exam. Third would be the ones who are not are, it should be those who were good in TX. So let me give you a brief background about the third point, because if you ever notice the job advertisements for ACCAs, normally the advertisements are around we require ACCAs with 10 papers passed or finalist or let's say 11 papers passed or 12 papers passed. Imagine if you are comfortable with TX, like you were comfortable in TX, you have a good concepts in TX, you enjoy the TX syllabus, but today you are like, no, I don't want to pursue the text as my future career. I want to pursue, let's say, in the internal audit or any other category. ATX is not relevant for me. Hence, I would not be pursuing with the ATX. So, to all of those, keep remember, please, the first approach should be to secure your qualification. The learning relevant to the job, etc., etc., all of these should be secondary, because if you are not, let's say, if the job advertisement requires ACCA affiliates, and if someone is like keep attempting any other optional paper and unable to pass, would he or she be able to qualify for the interview? The answer is no. He or she would not be eligible for the interview. So first, make your eligibility. I can for sure share with you, like 99.9% of the job posts are with respect to your status, not with respect to your optional exams which you have opted. So first, secure your qualification, get done with your qualification, complete your ACCA, qualify your ACCA, and even then if you feel like, no, I still lacking the advanced financial management or advanced performance measurement or advanced audit and assurance knowledge, then you can always continue or opt for additional optional papers. So that's not prohibited or restricted by ACCA. So you can still proceed with that paper afterwards as well. So again, the first approach should be, while opting for the optional exams, first approach should be to secure your qualification. So if you are good in FM, you should proceed with the AFM. If you were good in PM, you should proceed with the APM. If you are good in TX, you should proceed with the ATX. If you are good in audit and assurance, you should proceed with the AAA exam. So this should be a priority, and I understand TX is normally one of the favorite exam of the student because it's not very much technical, it's lengthy, I agree, but it's not very much technical, it's pretty much straightforward. And the category of people who enjoy calculation, who loves calculation, they find this paper to be very interesting and comfortable. So all those category should be attempting ATX. Again, the main theme, the main objective is to secure their ACCA qualification. Having said all that, who should attempt for the ATX exam? My second message is to the ones who will be appearing for the first time in the professional exam. So if you are attempting the professional exam for the first time, so this discussion is for you guys. In all of the ACCA strategic professional exams now, there is an increase in the professional marks. So there are some of the technical marks, there are some of the professional skills related marks, and then there is a total. So at the moment now I'm focusing with respect to ATX, not talking in general. With respect to ATX, the ATX exam is divided into two sections. One is section A, which would have only one question, and there will be 40 technical marks, 10 professional marks, the total of 50 marks. The only question compulsory. Then if I talk about section B would contain two questions, question number 2 and question number 3. Question number 2 would be of 20 marks, 5 professional, 25 in total. Same thing goes with question number 3, 25 in total. So if I look with respect to marks allocation, total 80 of technical marks, 20 professional marks, and 100 in total marks. Now, what is this for the professional aspect? So, I just for the sake of reference, previously, like before June 2023 exams, previously these These 20 used to be only 4 marks. Now this is increased to 20 marks. It means the examiner wants you to demonstrate, to concentrate more on the professional skill side as well. Now, technical, this is something which we will keep learning throughout the session. At the moment, I'm more interested to have word around the professional skills. So what is for the professional skills? What constitutes the professional skills marks? So the professional skills marks is available for demonstrating 4 of the skills. 1, communication. Second one is analysis and evaluation. The third one is skepticism. And the fourth category is commercial acumen. I will discuss each and every category shortly, like within a span of a minute or 2. But before I start discussing each and every category, with respect to exam, section A will examine all 4 skills, whereas section B will examine a combination of professional skills relevant to the question or scenario. Having said that, keep remember, this is the only element which will only be examined in section A. So this is something which will only be examined in section A, nothing to do with section B. So like I was just referring, section B, you have to consider 3 professional skills category, either of 2 would be examined out of 3 in total professional skills, either to be communication, analysis and evaluation. Third one is skepticism. So either of these you need to be careful about while answering the question. Now, what is communication? Communication marks are basically relating to the format of the answer, the flow of the answer, like what should be first, what should be second, what should be third, and third and the most last important thing is it is about the clarification of the answer. How clear you are in your answer. So if you are ambiguous, probably you will lose the communication related marks. Format of the answer. So probably you might be required to write a report, a letter, a memo. You have to follow that format. So that is the format of the answer. Flow. What should be discussed first, what should be discussed second, what should be discussed in the third instance. So this is basically the flow element which we have to consider. And clarification, like are you clear with the answer? So is the answer appropriate, giving an appropriate message? So this is about the clarification. Analysis and evaluation. Analysis and evaluation is basically your answer should be of conclusion of any investigation, investigative mind, or it should give the proper due consideration of some of the factors. It should assess all of the relevant information available into the scenario or into the situation. So that is about the analysis and evaluation. Now, if I talk about skepticism basically is explore what is missing in the question. So I'm just giving you a reference. So for example, for any of the relief to qualify, what additional information you need or what the information is missing. So if this information is available, then yes, I would be able to apply that or not to apply. So that is about the explore. Questioning mind as in, if any particular information is given, does it make factually sense to you? Does it make factually correct to you or not? So for example, if the statement says like, I'm just giving a reference. So for example, if I have not included any particular income because I believe that income is not a taxable income. So that's what he or she believes. What's your opinion? Is it a taxable income? Okay. The third aspect of the skepticism is you should challenge and critically think about the accuracy of information. So it's not like you need to say like everything is incorrect. No. Think analytically as well. That is about the skepticism. Last, commercial acumen. Commercial acumen is basically you need to demonstrate awareness around the taxation matters. You need to demonstrate awareness about the taxation matters. You should demonstrate about the insights relating to the tax matters. You should use the key judgments. And while making the judgments, do not consider only the tax aspect. You need to consider the other aspects as well. So what could be the example of other aspects? So it could be possible, if I pay the tax now, I would not be liable to pay any kind of penalty, right? But probably I would be short of cash. I need to borrow the funds from the bank, and probably the borrowing cost would be so high. So maybe delaying the tax is better as compared to borrow the money. So I'm like liquidity versus the tax payment. So this is the commercial acumen which you need to adhere or which you need to follow. So this is around the professional marks. It's not like we are discussing this thing for today only. We will be discussing this thing once again as a refresher type of thing, to refresh, to reiterate once we are towards the end of the session, because from now, after today until maybe the last session, we will be focusing on these 80 technical marks and these I touched based 20 marks at the moment. We will again touch base 20 marks in the future. In between, I will keep guiding, but will not explicitly touch this area with reference with exactly these pointers, because we need to focus more on this 80 marks. It's not like the 20 are immaterial, ignore it. The answer is no. We will still consider it, but while learning the text, this would become secondary, and this will again become pickup towards mid to end of the session. Why? And again, this is not something I share my any particular pointers to memorize this. No. So this is something which you can learn only with the help of examples, with the help of experience. Nothing else can guide you to learn this. Second last discussion from my side. The second last discussion is, at times normally students ask me, how much is the difference between TX and ATX? How much is the difference between TX and ATX? So, ATX includes 100% of TX. And this 100% of TX constitutes, I'm roughly quoting this, okay, based on my experience, 70 to 75% of ATX syllabus. Rest of the 25 to 30% is basically new or additional areas. Why I am saying this? Because normally the students expect from the tutors, like it is something which they have to cover, and that's the key difference between this institution versus probably the others. We make a fundamental assumption, like I don't know why, but that's the ground reality. Accounting is something which we keep remember even after passing the accounting exam, financial reporting, financial accounting. Audit, that's keep in discussion. Performance measurement, law, financial management, that keeps under the discussion. But I don't know why. The issue with the taxation paper is, the TX paper is, once normally students attempt the exam, they forget half of the things. And once they pass this paper, they forget rest half of the things. So at the time they are here in ATX or they are in the professional exams, they do not normally recall even a single word relating to the taxation universe. So it's not like we carry the expectations that it's your thing to cover. The answer is no. We will cover this area as well, plus we will cover this area as well. So this is something, a key differentiating feature for this institution. This new additional area, it is not something which is only captured in any one particular topic or any one particular chapter. Rather, this is spreaded over all TX syllabus. So you will observe this new additional areas. It can be some of the instances where this intensity to be high, this intensity to be lower. That's a different thing. But it's not like that this new / additional area will only be in any one particular chapter or any in one particular topic. No. So you will observe this, and just giving you the names for reference, you will observe some new additional areas into the income tax, some new additional areas into the corporation tax, inheritance tax, value added tax, corporation tax, overall ethics, governance, things like that. So this is something which is spreaded across all over the syllabus. So at the moment, I don't think it's a good idea to have discussion around those topics in detail at the moment, but I don't mind, like if someone wants to have discussion, I can discuss with him or her separately, like to be exact what are the areas where there are new things or new concepts or additions, but probably that's not very much relevant, so that's why I'm not discussing. Last thing, how we're gonna approach from today for March 2024 session, how we will gonna approach for this thing. Sorry. So our approach for ATX March 2024 session would be, our approach for ATX March 24 session would be, there will be, first of all, you guys need to enroll / register. I will be sharing a planner with you guys, or a sequential way to cover the topics. On weekly basis, there will be live query session, or you can say it as queries or Q&A session. On weekly basis, once we are done with the queries and Q&A session, we will be having questions from exam kit, so that whatever you are learning, you keep practicing that thing from the exam kit as well. There will be a WhatsApp group, and we will be providing a continuous support over WhatsApp. Like if you have any query during the week, so you can ask your queries during the week as well, rather than waiting for a complete week. And if the query is of big nature, then probably we could request you to wait for your live session. Or if the query is of nature which requires to be discussed at a larger forum rather than one individual, then probably myself can request to raise it in the query session. But live query session would be there. Once we are done with the syllabus, there will be a revision / exam technique sessions. And this would be somewhat end of third week or start of fourth week. So end of third week or start of fourth week of Feb 2024, so that you will become very well equipped with respect to your exams, or once you are near to your exams, so that you will become very well versed with that. So that's the revision / exam technique session. So this is a high level salient features of by the way, notes soft copy will be there, and while sharing the notes soft copy, that will be annotated files and unannotated files. Both would be available, so that you can just simply download and take a print out of unannotated file and keep working on unannotated file while looking for your lecture. So that, because I personally believe once we write any particular thing, the memorization or retention level goes up. So to enhance your memorization / retention level, I strongly suggest all of the students to take the print of this unannotated file and keep writing, keep updating the questions specifically while solving it during the lecture. So that's it. So at the end, for today, I just like to share the planner. What's the planner looks like? So that there will be a weekly class. The first week, for me, the weekend is on every Friday. So the first weekend would be on 22nd. The first class would be on 23rd. The class timings all are in PST. So in the first week, you are supposed to cover capital gains tax. This is the exactly tab you will be noticing on your portal. In second week, that would be end on 29th December. The class will be on 30th December at 6:30 p.m. PST. In the second week, this topic is supposed to be covered. In week 3, income tax, these areas supposed to be covered. Week 4, week 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's like a complete 9 weeks element where you are supposed to cover all of these things. And if you follow this planner properly, you will be able to complete the syllabus by 17th Feb. and if you complete your syllabus by 17th Feb, approximately you have 2 to 2.5 weeks, 2 to 2.5 weeks completely to review, to practice your exam kit. Okay, so this is something the planner which you guys are supposed to follow. This is the planner from my side, and again, if you end up quickly, that would be great for you. You will have more time for your own revision. So at the end, like I said, there will be revision classes, exam question practice sessions. At the moment, I'm not clear with the date, but this will be there, so this is for sure. So any particular feedback, any particular comment from your side, please do let me know. Else I'm done for this introductory session.